Hello, everybody. Thanks to Demeter, I now also have visuals for you. And sorry for, not having things working at the right moment. But now we do. Cheers. So let's say that never happened. Hello, fellow humans. Let's continue our shot and go right into splining. Now the sound is there as well, and I have the shot here, which is great. So as I mentioned earlier in the previous stream, 5 minutes ago, I kind of lied to you in the last stream, because I said like we could start splining in this shot right now, but due to deadlines, I already started splining a little bit. Don't get mad. I will still go through the steps of going from blocking to splining, because I know for animators, going from blocking to splining is always the hard part, because you go from a very solid planning to let's have the computer figure out the interpolations, and it's becoming this floaty spaghetti, not very well timed mess. Now, I will definitely show you that, but due to deadlines, I want to have the shot done probably early next week. I continued a little bit and save you the hassle of me cursing at my screen and struggling with keys, which is could be interesting, and we'll still struggle today, so don't worry about that. Let me actually turn on my headphones as well, so I can hear the audio of the clip. Let me actually show you what I have right now, and then we'll jump into, let me actually see if I have audio. Why are you not playing? Oh, wait. Man.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't...
Okay, here we go, guys. The play button is very buggy in 3.2.
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Let's try it one more time.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
All right, so as you can see on Snow, the male character, I already splined and did some touch up there. For today, I want to show you how I went from blocking to splining, just show you my workflow. And then we'll jump in and add some texture to the current animation. But when I say texture, I don't mean images. Texture in animation is adding detail to your movements. So right now, if I play, and actually, let me make this a bit bigger, like that. And for convenience, I turn off rain. I haven't fully established her movement or her reaction yet. Right now, if I play it, fuck me, this playback is
talking to you,
not
you know?
working.
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
And she just leaves, but it's a bit rude. I mean, I want to do something more clever there. Maybe put down the bill for him, kind of like as a subtle gesture that it's time to leave. one thing that Bo, which is our modeler and lighter for this shot, has been doing is doing some pre-lighting and also you know, get some ideas for the setting itself, because obviously we're working with a mock-up here of the scene. So if I go into the actual folder there's some renders, and this is kind of like a first pass, you know, for lighting, just to set a little bit of the mood. He updated the beer pouring thingy. There's a great name for it, I forgot. The background will be more detailed, so there will be some chairs and seats and chairs and seats. Empty glasses in there, like he's the last guy that's still at the bar, finally trying to, you know, to take a shot at the bartender here. But yeah, that's kind of like also going on, which is pretty cool to see. There's a lot of subsurface scattering, I noticed. We need to reduce that, but let's go into some animation here. So I turn off rain for now, and let's focus on snow. Yeah, the playback button is very, very not working. If I play right now, it's doing great. It's weird. It seems like it's kind of like catching up and not. Any developers out there, please fix it. Like now, you see in the bottom, there's the animation, and now it's playing. Keep talking. So that's great. It's very helpful when you're animating. So what I wanted to show you is like we kind of have like a spline version, and some of that is fairly linear still, like him moving down here, and then it's playing, but it's not playing.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
I already put in some of the texture, the animation texture again. Like here, he's going with his head a little bit up and down, and then so texturing in animation is basically adding some extra rhythm, some secondary motion within the main beats that gives us that natural feel to it, like creating some imperfection, or like retime some of the movement of the head here. Like for instance here, oh man, I'm getting really frustrated by this playing.
I want to keep talking.
Not working.
I want to keep talking to you.
Maybe I'm gonna go back to 3.1 or 3.0 even. Working with experimental software here, which is 3.2. Great.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you.
So you see, like, it's going down here, and it's drifting a bit, and we'll work on that. Another thing I want to work on is the arms. Currently, they're... Okay, this is it, guys. I'm gonna go to Maya. No, kidding, I'm kidding. I'm going to Blender 3. Whatever. Let's kill this. Save. Quit. Let's try something else here. I think here. Right. 3.1. Let's try that. Oh, wait. This is the config, which is where emitter blenders 3.1 alpha or 3. Okay, let's go 3.0. Let's go back to 3.0. Great. Of course. Yeah, okay, good. Still have my preferences there. Open. Hopefully this plays better.
Want to keep talking.
Yeah, this feels better.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Great. All right, let's go to the chat. Okay, there's not a lot of you guys responding, which is fine. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to put it in the chat. There are no dumb questions. And yeah, there are no questions yet, so I'll continue. Let's first, let me show you how I went from blocking to splining. Now, and therefore I go to an older version, file, open, and go to version 4. It's kind of where we left off on Tuesday. So, right. So here we are. Is it splined? No, oh, it's still splined. It's blind. Okay, it is. Actually, let me go one version back. And oh no, do we have the same problem again with the playback?
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is.
Okay, here we go. Just for the sake of showing you guys what I've been doing and what is kind of the challenge on going from blocking to splining, constant keys to Berger. So, come on, man.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
So that's my blocking. And if I turn off rain and go to our friend here, you see all of our keys are constant. And if we go to the graph editor, all of our keys are stepped. So tick, tick, stair stepped. All right. Now, if I hit spline or like go spline, so I select everything and I say, I hit T and the interpolation set from constant, which is right now, this was J, bum. What you get right now is like, computer, figure it out. And there we go. Brace yourselves. Oh.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Horrible. You shall not do that, okay? That will take you... It becomes very hard to work and recover some of your existing keys. So seeing this happening and the playback not working.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
This is not what you want. So before you... Wow, that loaded fast. Before you do this, let me go back to constant. What you want to do, first off, you want to separate your facial animation and your body animation. What I mean with that is I still keep my facial animation in constant and start splining the body. Because my facial animation I will adjust later anyways, and it's still holding up. It's it doesn't interrupt the the spline of the body. So we can basically hide the face bones right now. Face like that, and basically just keep your body bones visible. So when you select those, you can spline them and nothing else will be splined. So you basically pick and choose which bones you want to spline. Some of them are not even keyed. Like for instance, I'm using the FK spine control, which is working a little bit differently than the IK spine. So these bones I can basically hide or, you know, get rid of them in some non-destructive sense. These two. And then, so what I do to make sure I put down pillars of my key poses. I put down keys on everything where I feel like the pose needs to hold until here. Because if I only have, let's say I go to the chest bone, and I go here. For instance, this key right here. If I deliberately want this pose to hold for quite this long. It's not the best example, but it will show you. If I put this into spline, it goes like it morphs into the next key. So what I want to do is say for all these keys, let's put a key right here because this is somewhat deliberate, and this is not the best example. But now if I spline it, it will hold that key for a little bit longer. It will still be choppy, but at least you get better representation of your initiated planning. So let's go back. And I'm not going through the whole process because it's still a lot of work to clean up your spline curves. But at least it gives you an example on how to work and how to set this up, because the preparation of going into spline is the most important thing. Now, so I have my keys here, and I don't want to look at this, but basically make it a bit more readable. And I do it a bit more roughly right now. Basically, I don't touch the fingers right now. I keep them in stepped as well. So let's hide the fingers and show them again. So here we go. So first off, on frame 1, that's a pose right there. So I key all of the bones, 398 keyframes, and make sure this pose is locked in frame. So no interpolation whatsoever. Then we go here. So we take this pose, and from frame 1 to frame 8, I want to make this motion, make this pose stay there. And it will still move, as you can see. I put in those keyframes slow, like it's drinking. Put in an extra pose here. So now if I spline this, it will hold this pose instead of already blending into this pose. So that's why you want to lock your keyframes in that sense, that you deliberately put in a hold. So from 0 to 8, you don't get as much blending. Now there's a big movement here, and right here is our next key. So we key it right here. So this can be, I'm allowing the computer to kind of do this motion and interpolate that. I noticed like the hand, there's the FK IK switch, no, IK space switch going on. I had to clean that up, and also the arc was a bit wobbly and terrible. Now from here we hold, and then we go suddenly into this pose, which I wanted to be a bit more snappy. So I hold the pose from, let's say, 44, and then I want to go forward. So within 44 to 47, in 3 frames, it pops a bit more forward. So the timing is, instead of like going from here to here, which creates a slow floaty movement. You want to hold the key and then it's moving faster. Now, and that's what you basically do for the whole shot. You pick your holds and you key everything so it will being put as a key so the computer knows or like interpolates the right keys at the right time. Let me know if that does make sense, and if not, also, well, let me know if it doesn't make sense, okay? Now, sometimes you want the head to be its own thing, or the hand, and you do the same thing with the head afterwards. So sometimes the head is doing some extra motion and you don't want to key everything. You just take the head and key some certain elements the same way as I did before. Like for instance here, it holds this pose and then it goes quickly into here. In order for it to not float, I need to put in a key a couple of frames before, and then once I go into Spline, it will be a faster motion. Does that make sense? Good. Let's go to the chat and then we'll jump back to, okay. No, wait. Sorry, I'm looking at some questions here. When is this character available to download? Probably somewhere next or the week after, once this animation and something else, some other animations will be done. We'll do a little show introduction slash demo reel for this character, and that will come with the release. So we've got rain and snow. The next character should be sunny. Yes, and it should be a puppy. It should be a dog. Or a kid. They're a little family. Cute. Either way. My name is Keanu Reeves. Let me actually do a little flick here. Hi guys. Keanu Reeves for you. He doesn't talk like that. Sorry. Okay, let's continue. Let's go back to our file. So this is how I set up the blocking to splining, and then I start from there. I need to have my mouse here. Okay, and then you clean up your keys and get it in a somewhat decent state where you feel like the timing and everything feels all right. So let's go back to this file. So after a day, oh, I did see one more question about the clip. You were doing that clip for 3 days. Maybe there's something I don't know about animation. Okay, I can explain. I've been working on this shot since Monday, and I streamed 2 afternoons now, and this is my 3rd. I did work on it in between, and I do have to say that streaming and working together doesn't go as fast as just being focused, be in the zone, working on the shot on my own. But that means, yes, I'm working on the shot since Monday, and today's our 4th day working on it, and animation takes a long time. Yeah. It's the most inefficient way telling a story, doing animation. So you better have a good story before you think of telling it through animation. Could start with writing it down and then go from there. Anyways, let's continue and go from the shot here. My play button is still.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
Actually, have chain rain turned on as well.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Okay. A couple of things that I want to deal with. One of them is this hand right here is currently currently is glued to the table. And you can see it right here. If let's see, just see, turn off my bones. Yeah, right here. Let me just figure something out here. I'm terrible with annotations. So watch this area. When I go along, you see it's stretching quite a bit. So from here, it's stretching and it's going down and it's really glued to the table. I did put some keys in here, like it's sliding a little bit there to make it somewhat remaining there. Its length, but it definitely needs a little bit of adjustment there. So let's dial that in. So it's going up here. And we need to be clever about it because when you sit at a table and you lean on the table and then you kind of like move back, you don't do this. And let me actually stretch bone. We're going to work with that. I could do like, let's go back and then, so I put it in the key here and then move it up. Okay, it's still constant. Have my keys in constant? I do. Great. Here we go. So now my default keys are also Berger. So you could lift it up like that, but that's not a resting pose for the character to be in. So if you do that, you want to make sure you end up with still having that elbow on the table so it feels like believable. And I just move it back a little bit. It's a bit eyeballing here because I can stretch it whatever I want, but I want to make sure it looks somewhat believable. So and now turn off rain again. Way faster. It goes up way too early. These are not actually my keys that I would put down. So you want to react to the upper motion and then put it down again. And then here I actually want to blend, Shift E, G, Z, no, Y, no, X. Great. So now I'm only blending the axes are not world space, but blending only the up and down. So if you do the blend to neighbor tool, you can, when you have the blend to neighbor tool enabled, and then you hit G, it will only blend location. And then you hit X, Y, or Z, and then it will only blend one axis at a time. So now you see it's going up a little bit, but it slides along, and it's and the playback, there's something with it. It needs to kind of not happy with that.
I don't know what your situation
You
is.
see?
I don't know what your.
So it's sliding a little bit, and that makes it way more natural, and doesn't make the upper arm scale that much. So that's what we're gonna do today. Actually, I'll keep it in here, and we'll basically work with this control right here, and then maybe this one is obviously parented, so we could grab the this bone, which is the, wait, why is that? Control Z. Okay, good. I don't like that pop-up right there, but all right, let's go. So that means that from here we're stretched quite a bit. So I do have my key here, which feels good. But when we go, so we go backwards a little bit, and this feels good. So I put in a key here. We might adjust that later, and then yeah, now it's stretching quite a bit. So around here, we move it a bit closer, but still leaning onto the table. So go to global, and then just, I mean, could just move it a bit more like that. I don't like this thing. Go down. Yeah. And it's still stepped. Great. Berger. Okay. So it's now it's sliding into place, but it's sliding a bit too early because we go down there. So just blend my keys, put an extra key there. Then it's blending, but I don't want it to fully be arriving. So there we go. And the hand should not be glued as well. So and that's something more polishing. We're not there yet. I basically build up my animation layer by layer. So we do some adjustments here. We do not go into fingers or any contact points, like really thinking about any of this kind of stuff, but really start the fundamentals of right motion. So it's still stretching here. So maybe I do want to lift it a little bit like that because we can. And then here. Then it's not playing right as I hit spacebar. Sliding a bit too fast. It feels like still it is on ice. Like it's going a bit too fast. So that means this is nice. This is going too fast. So let's pull this back a little bit. Maybe start a bit later. It's growing again right here. See, it's going down. Let's see what happens if we just... Come on, man. The playback button is just not working right now. Spacebar. Now it works.
I want to keep...
It's a bit of a staggering motion there. I don't want to let it drag that much, so I just put in a key here. And this is its rest position. So here, blend it. Maybe just a little bit. This. Taking way too long.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
All right, so it's sticking there. And then here it's, you see it's shrinking, so.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
What happens if I put on frame dropping, not syncing to audio? Maybe it's just connecting to audio first and then playing. Yeah. You see, it's playing right now, but the audio is not. You don't hear the audio yet.
Talking to you, you know?
That's the thing, I think. It's waiting for the audio and then syncs up to the audio.
No.
Because now it's playing right there, right as I want it. Okay. Questions? Okay. Which degree should I have to be a graphic designer? I love that question. It's not about the degree, man. It's about the portfolio. Honestly, anything. It's nice as an official thing, but you can be with graphic design or just build a great portfolio, and definitely any sort of school in that direction will give you knowledge, but the paper itself not really important. What is your PC made up of? It's in the description. It's a decent one, not the best. Yeah, it's not the best. Okay. Let's continue. Going for the elbows. And the audio is not playing, but at least I get a real-time playback here. I do, so it's going down. Putting a key here, and I'm not looking at the graph itself. I do sliding a bit much, but hey. So going down here, that means putting a key. And what happens if we push it more closer to the edge here? Growing a bit too much. I don't mind stretching if it's not very noticeable, so maybe pushing it forward. And then it's pushing even. But then again, the skin is also touching the table, so which allows us to ultimately you want to rotate the skin a little bit to feel like it's having some friction, but still gives a bit to the initial motion. So going there, and it's slowly crawling back, so we want to have this pose to be set still there.
I don't know what your situation is. I want to keep talking to you.
Maybe just lifting it a little bit there. And then Shift E, G, X, I believe, just to go down.
I want to keep talking to you.
This is nice, but the hand now feels a bit weird. So, hand bone. Oh, this is not the hand. This is not the hand. I have an extra layer. And again. Shift H. Turn on IK, FK, stretch. Okay, this guy is animated. So what happens if I just delete this frame? Yeah, so it's sliding a little bit, but the main motion is in the elbow. I think it should slide a little bit more forward. Stretch.
I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know
There.
I don't know what.
Then it's going back quite a bit, but that's nice. It goes up a little bit, so we want to cushion it, pushing it there. Yeah, so feels nice. It has a little bit of a
I don't know what your
slide to it.
I keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got.
Nice. Great.
I don't know what your situation is, but
You see it's growing here slowly. Sliding, sorry. So we want to make sure because his body's not moving that much. Keep it steady. So I'm blending that other frame in, holding it. It does grow actually. So maybe on that, move up here. Move it a bit closer to the body. It's a bit late. Just a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't need to be pixel perfect, as long as you feel like, oh, it's moving with the body. It already really goes a long way, and you can tweak it later on if you feel like, it's a bit off. But at least, you know, this kind of stuff makes an animation a lot more natural. Just adding, yeah, I know it's already going on here, so yeah, that feels good. And then it stretches a little bit, so let's push the cushion a bit more maybe. Okay, keep it there.
I don't know what your situation is.
You know, that feels...
I don't know what your situation is.
It feels like it's actually connected to the body movement, and that's what we're after. Great stuff, eh? Elbow animation. Yeah. And this took me 20 minutes. We're only halfway through. One elbow. You know why animated movies are so expensive? Think twice before you want to be an animator. You really gotta love it. You really want to go. Yeah. Oh, you work in TV animation and you just do 40 seconds a week and work with post libraries and slap them on there. Great. Sorry, I'm tangled with my own audio wires. Okay.
No, I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like.
So, same thing. Go up here a little bit, so key it. Go up, so we go a bit closer. Like this. And then it's moving to the back there. Now here, This might be interesting. I'm always trying to take into account the body physics, which is necessary for animation. And sometimes I rely on video reference, which I do have, but more to establish the beats of it. For these takes, I try to dig into my own experience for animation and see like what happens. So when I move over here, you see the body right here shifts to the left and rotates as well. I put it in there, so right there. And because its weight starts to shift a bit from to this shoulder, we want to move the shoulder up a little bit. Okay, so goes up, the shoulder goes up there, which not definitely. Well, I put it in there, and then right here it's going down, but maybe I want to move it up a little bit like that. So now when it's going to the right, it holds up and it kind of counter. And then when it moves back, let me just put in that keyframe. It moves back, it goes down again. So the weight goes to the other side. You know? That way I can also resolve some of the stretching that's going on. So same for the beginning, I could take a look at that as well to actually have the shoulder move a bit towards. I can cheat a little bit by stretching it. And then I make sure it's there. And then here too. And then from there I blend it towards. This is maybe not the best idea to. Now I'm fighting my other keys, as you can see. Let's not go into the shoulder right now, but these are things to take in account as well. I'll do that later. But just to know that you want to, yeah, make your stuff as physical as possible. Make your decisions. So pushing it. You see the arm is floating right now because there were keys before. So I take my bone here. Again, not every rig has the flexibility of actually moving your elbows like this or your IKs like this. Because FK, sorry, this is an FK bone, but so Blender does it really, really well with these kind of setups. I gotta say, maybe it's a cloud rig thing. Demeter is fantastic, very flexible. And then this is not working anymore because it's not IK. Great. Sorry, thinking out loud here. So you see it scaling or like moving, floating. So I put in a key here. I want to let it stay there. Maybe shift it back a little bit. So adding a little bit of movement there. For those who are chiming in, I'm working on the elbow.
I don't know what your situation is, but...
And of course, yeah, let's watch it like that.
But I feel like we got some kind of connection.
Kind of maybe lift it up a little bit here. It's going up here. You see the body's going up. Put in a key. Go to the apex of the body going up. pushing it a little bit.
Connection, right? Connection.
Starting a bit early. Let's push this.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
It's going a bit big there, so gonna really tone it down.
Connection, right? Connection.
And then it's going right. Maybe add in a little bit of motion to the other side, so it's pushing out a little bit like this. And it's still. So I just put a key here, and then I feel like, oh, it's too much. Let's go in between. Like even here, 2 frames further, replace it. And it's a bit too late. So push it back.
Right? Right? Right?
Maybe overshoot it a bit, so I go a little bit back.
Connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
This bump right here, I'm not sold. Delete. Maybe just pushing it a little bit there.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Also, this is a bit too big. You don't want to have the elbow too much fame. Wow. You don't want the elbow to have too much attention. You want to feel it, because the main audience will look at his face. It's the most important thing. So I'm just gonna block this out and maybe refine later. Like here, I'm already. It feels a bit mechanical. Blend it a little bit.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Okay.
I want to keep talking.
We'll do another pass later. You want to jump to.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
The other hand, especially this movement right here, it's a bit, it ticks to the right and then goes down. There's a lot of starts and stops here. You see? And you want to make sure it's not like this. You want to make it more. So.
But I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Feel like we got some kind of connection.
Now, I also feel like this motion right here going forward, it's a bit staccato. staccato. Wow, a bit fast, and I feel like it needs a bit more anticipation to that motion. And also the hand there.
Kind of connection, right?
Very, very rough still. Okay. Okay. Questions? Do you recommend any good source for character animation? Do you mean tutorials, schools, character rigs, software? So, can you please specify that question? I did anim school. I don't want to promote it. I just be honest with you guys. They have great rigs. It's Maya, but sorry if this is out of bounds, out of what I can say. But an online animation school, any of them are great. I know some Blender schools, online schools that are fantastic as well. Search for them; they are there. Yeah, was it worth it? Ash, is that for somebody else? Not sure. Okay, somebody from South Africa. I'm also a Scot. That's not how you pronounce my last name. So if I say my last name, it's Schutte. Welcome to Dutch pronunciations. Rik Schutte. There you go. Don't vomit. Don't die on that. Is it faster, cheaper to do mocap in Blender? If you want to go for bland, realistic stuff, I don't think it's faster. If it depends on what you're after. Character animation is a very stylized form of performance. You can never achieve the same expressions and motion in animation or in mocap than in hand-keyed animation. And often in a lot of movies, they start off with mocap, but eventually somebody needs to go over it and clean it up, delete a bunch of keys and retime it and reanimate it by hand. So I would say no, it's not faster. It's just a different approach. And cheaper, you need a whole like setup for mocap. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not too familiar with it. This model will be accessible very soon, in a couple of weeks probably. What did you do behind the scenes? I wish you didn't do blocking plus because I want to see you doing it. I was talking about it in the beginning of the stream. So if you go back there, I go over what steps I did in between. I basically went from the last file blocking plus, like the last video, and yeah, prepared that for splining. All right. Let's continue. Let's work on the other hands right there in the end. Yeah, it's a bit wobbly there. It's a bit wobbly because I am working with several factors here. I do want to bring in the elbow, but of course I do want to make sure that it rests on the table. So you see a couple of keyframes here that kind of fight each other, along with the elbow stretch control that is also fighting it a little bit. So that's what we're gonna work with. And you see a big shoulder stretch happening there too. You see the screen right shoulder, something we gotta work on too. So let's start with the shoulder actually. That's bothering me the most right now.
Like we got some kind.
So move it back. If you're watching Demeter, I find this area, giving some live ringing feedback here. The shoulder area is influenced too much. I find this area right here to be, I don't know, I would say it's hard to actually, but like, great, this is not working. All right, screw that. But yeah, you see like this whole like upper chest area is moving, and I think we can reduce the amount of motion on the shoulder there and let it be mostly here, and then have a bit of fall off there. You see it's clumping up here.
Connection, right?
Right, and then pushing it also a little bit more in.
Connection, kind of connection, right? Kind of connection, right?
Yeah, annotation in the end tab. Yeah, there it is. I turn it off. New. Yeah, true. I'm a simple man. I don't know Blender at all. Just leaning forward there. And I want that shoulder to actually, same thing, move a bit more up. And then here. I wonder why it's loading the sound so late. Is it because I only synced up one audio file? There are two links here. Let me just reload them both. So maybe that's... Yeah, it's not loading the...
Connect. Talking to you.
Maybe that did it. I'm not sure.
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Okay, let's work on that arm because now it's really jiggling. Smoothing out some of those keys. And So I want to end up roughly in this place. We'll work this part out later. Let me put a key down. And then we come from around here. And, you know, sometimes you gotta just delete everything. See what's happening. And then you see basically the motion that's going on, how the computer would interpolate it. Then you instantly see like the keys that we're fighting here. But at least we get some smooth motion. Yeah, the audio is still not syncing or loading here instantly.
Connection.
Now it is, but connection. Yeah, so it's going poop. It's not going poop, but it's going quickly here and then moving out. And that's because of the IK probably. Yeah. We'll leave that for now. I want to work on the timing of the glass. And the glass is not very visible here, but I hope you guys can see it. Let me actually... is it going to help us? No, it's not. Never mind. I could change the material, but it's... also, the glass has been an override, library override, so don't gonna bother with that. All right, so
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection.
just gonna shift around some keyframes here.
Connection.
And maybe around here, you want to anticipate the movement a little bit. So that means going a little bit backwards, already rotating it. This is not how I animate, by the way. Talking all my moves out loud. Everybody would get crazy if I do that. But now, I like it. Because you guys are following along. Why even with that weird accent? I don't know. Go here. Going up. Going down. Rotating. Putting it on the table. Okay, we blend it a bit more to this pose. So what I'm after is like doing a bit of a different motion towards where we end up. You see it's still a bit jagged.
Connection, right? Connection.
Bear in mind, I haven't animated the fingers at all.
Connection.
Because ultimately on this move, you want those fingers to be nicely touching the floor and it's actually rotating, banking around that area. But we're dealing with just a global motion right now, and we'll dial some of that in polishing.
Connection, right?
Maybe not push it up that high, so a little bit. And then have a little bit of an arc to it. Yeah, push it a bit to the side. Ah.
Connection, right? Connection, right?
Good. Good.
Let's
play.
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Kind of connection, right? Some kind of connection.
Okay, now the motion forward. Could speed it up a little bit. Just pushing this keyframe and push, put a key.
Connection, right? Connection.
Let's check the elbow now.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection.
A lot of questions coming in, and I will look at that. It's probably been asked before, but anyone planning to make a feature film length Blender animation? It's a future just for shorts. The ultimate dream is to make a Blender feature film animation. Yes, that's the goal, the future goal. Problem is money. No, not only that, but money is nice. Give us money, please. No. What is your auto key setting? Is it key all attributes or only modified attributes? Good question. Let me show you. This is actually something I brought up in one of the developers meetings where I represent the animation department. And one of the things is if I go to preferences, animation, this is my current setup. Only insert available, selected. It's, you know, choosing at least. I mean, it's doing what it needs to do, but I wonder, we need to refactor how this behavior is set up. The only insert key needed I'm used to. So let's say I'm only rotating my a bone. It only keys rotation. That's like the only insert needed. It only looks for changes per channel made. But this kind of overrides, and it's fighting the only insert available operator. And it also, when I want to put in a keyframe, it doesn't allow me to put in a keyframe if nothing has changed. So I would love to have this been adjusted in terms of its behavior and become more flexible, become more, yeah, because I do like, I'm used to working with this setup in Maya, where it's normal to have your keys when you press a key. So it also depends obviously on your keying set. Not here, here. And I have currently on location, rotation, ... and custom properties, which is location, rotation, and scale, and custom properties. Basically key everything that's there on the bone. So if I have, if there's a bone with properties on them, For instance, it's not visible right now, right here. There's properties on them. So the Cloud Rig has a few properties here, so it will key them as well. But yeah, so I'm a bit aggressive with my keying. I just want to make sure that, yeah, it's the least, it's the best scenario for me at the moment, but not ideal, so to say. So I'm aggressively keying everything on every keyframe. I don't want a pop-up that says, do you want the key location, rotation, or the whole list? No, I want to put my keys down and don't worry about it. So that's my keying setup. Hopefully in the future it will be more intuitive and optional to be able to actually, instead of having this long list of options, to kind of have a selection a check mark system where you can just turn on and off things you want to key there and have your options also available maybe here. I don't know. Okay, so we got this thing in, and then we want to, so this is how I approach it. I want to, first off, deal with the pull vector, and it will, so I don't put keys in here. There is keys because we do want to end somewhere here. Maybe even a bit more to the side. Nah, this is fine. Okay, great. I love this pop. I don't. And this one too. Wait. Yeah. We'll figure this out. So first off, pull factor. So it's going down. So also right here, you know, you can clearly see that this arm is not glued to the table. This is just a regular IK arm. So we have to do some manual work. You could make an extra, or like add an extra bone and parent, do the same similar setup also on the right, but nah, I think we can muscle it through. Maybe not actually, now that I look at it.
I want to keep talking to you.
Wow, audio kicking in late.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Now that I think of it,
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
let's try that setup actually. So I want to constrain the diameter is going to kill me. I'm going to constrain the stretch bone to an empty bone simply to have more control and lock it to the table more. So now on every move you see it's moving with it, which is nice, but you want to have a bit more flexibility, control over resting it on the table and not being disconnected. So how do we do that? Welcome to Constraint tutorial on how to constrain your elbows to the table. Now this rig is coming with some empty bones, and let me find it. Should be there. Did I? Oh, I Alt H. Bum. Okay, here, empty bone. probably a couple of them. Yeah, there's another one. There's, oh, here, another one. I scattered them around for my own convenience. Now, these bones, they do have keys, so I want to place them at the position where I feel like, yeah, that could be a good place to have the elbow sitting in its rest pose, which is, yeah, around here, I feel like. Now, let's go fancy and say, do I know the shortcut? Shift C? No. Control spacebar? No. I think it was Shift spacebar. I'm looking for this option. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Shift C? No. What is he trying to do? You're asking. I'm trying to put the cursor to the selected bone. And I'm a retard. I don't know how to do it. And you guys are like, it's this shortcut. I thought it was Shift C. Alt C? No. Shift spacebar, I thought. Cursor. Did they change it? No. Shift S. Yes. Thank you, Mildan Hali. Cursor to active. Bum. Now push this. Shift S again. Selection to cursor. Bum. All right, that's our position. Now we take the bone. I don't want to delete the keyframes yet because I want to maybe add them later. Add a bone constraint. And then copy transforms. Now copy location. We only need location. Target. Rig. Snow. Bone. What's the name of the bone? empty1 L. Empty. And I don't want to actually use the P, the parent, but there we go. And now, great. So now if I blend it, if I blend it, then it will fairly seamlessly blend between its position. So now if I move the character around, the elbow is sticking there. And now I can still move the hand. Oh, wait. Here. And still move the hand around, which is getting stretched a little bit here, but you don't see it. No, we'll work around with that.
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got.
So now what we can do is set the blend, and oh man, some animation teachers are gonna hate me. They say like never put your constraints to 0.5 or whatever, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Suck it. So now you have a little bit of movement there. Okay. And we can animate this thing. So great. This is where we want to turn it off. So go to the bone, because here we don't want it to be attached. We want it to be attached around here, or maybe here. So we say key. And then, well, let's blend it a little bit. Like here. 0. Key. Bum. Influence. So now it's not, it's...
I want to keep talking. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what you're...
Great. I like it. Good idea.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
Now we have control over the elbow and can move it freely around the table. And now we are able to manipulate the elbow how we want it to be. So that means did I not key it? I probably don't. So let's put a key right where it lands here. And we play around with, because it, yeah, this feels good. So it goes down, and that means we get a little bit of bending, scaling. So we just push it to the side a little bit there. Right around here, key it, blend it.
I want to keep talking. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
And there's stretching again. See the upper arm. So we want to move it back a little bit. And because there's not a lot of perspective on here, I don't mind if this has been stretched a little bit. You don't see it. I think I want to work with the shoulder a little bit too, because I don't want to have everything overlapping each other here. It's not the best silhouette. So what I wanted to do is go until here. So this will be my last frame. I will blend this to the other frame here and then blend it back like this. Okay, and then there's still some stretching going on, but we'll counter that with the shoulder.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is.
You see, it's like still stretching up until here. So let's see what happens if we adjust the shoulder to that. Okay. All right, discussions about immigrants. Great, I like it. Can I make animation based on blocking only without spline or tweening? Yes, you can. Actually, a lot of shots in Sprite Fright are animated on 2s, so every other frame, 12 frames per second, roughly. And a lot of animators animated in blocking only, like constant keys. They never splined, because that's the style of the movie. So yes, you can. It's just a lot harder to control once you want to adjust things, when you want to adjust your curves. let's continue.
I want to keep talking.
Something about this arm. Ah. Let's jump to the actual shoulder later and keep working on. Ah, man. I want these empties, the only one to be visible. For visibility layers, I would like to have, let's put hair, okay, in diameter. Can you hear me? Let's put, maybe you're not a fan of it, but like empties, property controls, things that are a bit more arbitrary, put them on a misc layer, I don't know, miscellaneous. Some sort of extras, or because now they're in FK secondary, which if I turn them on, it turns everything on. I'm not. So let me, and maybe I'm a fool and I don't know how to work with these visibility layers. Give me an animation picker, okay? Sorry, please. FK, IK. Great. Now, where were we? 2 hours later. Go on, audio. Catch up with me.
I don't know what your situation is, but I don't know what your situation is, but I feel.
Key. Move it. Just a little bit there. I need to beware that this can all be changed once I adjust any of the body movement. So I'm not too picky about this. I just want to have some motion in there.
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Key. And let me actually turn off the constraint to see where we end up. It's right there. Okay. So I like that pose. So we basically right here, we want to move it to that position, roughly speaking, because, you know, see the stretch going on. A little bit more forward. And now we don't have to fight the pull factor and the stretch bone and whatnot to keep it on there. But we do want to don't make it too linear. So Maybe even a bit further.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection. Connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Okay.
Right?
Right. Okay, let's work a little bit on this part.
Right?
Because of course our elbow has been glued to the table. So we need to slightly animate that, which is from here to here. We don't want to have this part isolated from the body. That means from this key, actually, let me first take a look at these because it's a bit poppy. Yeah, it's a bit, let me work out this first before we adjust.
Right?
Right. Maybe get a bit more arc to it. And then not freeze it like there, but rotate it a bit. It's not rotating it at the spot that I would imagine. So let's go fancy here. We'll delete. Wait. So right there. Right. So we put his. Don't worry about the intersection. We'll deal with it later. We go up here, and then right here we're touching with the palm. So I put my 3D cursor roughly at the spot where I want it to rotate. I honestly, from time to time, the 3D cursor is fantastic. I'm gonna say it. Well, those Maya animators, it can be very helpful to have a different pivot point. So instead of having individual origins to rotate from, 3D cursor. And now it rotates from that point, which gives us, so here we delete this and then we rotate right.
Right? 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 Connection, right? Right?
I do want to translate it a little bit. Shift E, G. That's not working. Wait. Of course, it's only. It's a bit fast. Also, the fingers are popping there. That makes it a bit flashy as well. So let me actually turn on the fingers. And quick selection set, fingers. There's my key. I want to key it here, and I just put it to spline for these keys. Oh no, get a mistake. Here we go. Here, actually I put a key here, and I move this key over. T. Wait, I'm a fool. This is what I want. Let's move that back a little bit. And here we go. Ooh. Still pretty fast, eh?
Right?
So let's go back to this guy. Right. Let's slow that down a bit.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Right. 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 Yeah. So it easing in and maybe to a little bit of a wobble there. Great, that's not looking. Putting some extra random keys in there. I'm just blending subtle movement in there.
Right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Okay. That will do for now. We can work on that motion and the fingers and whatever later. We do layer by layer. So splining globally, like roughly now, and do the details later. It's like carving wood, you know. You start off with a chainsaw, go to an axe. We're in the axe stage now. And then eventually you polish with tiny little tools. So if that's a good analogy, I don't know. You don't have Control Z when doing wood sculpturing.
Connection, right?
So we do. But they don't have Blender crashes, so trade-off.
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Wow, the audio is...
But
the audio is not syncing. I know I have not audio sync on, but that's because it's loading super late. So
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I feel like we got some kind of...
yeah, and also this moment here, I do want to, like the rotation of the thing, I feel like it's happening at definitely the wrong spot there. So I do want to see if we can actually make that a bit more physical. I'm putting my 3D cursor roughly around there. And let me delete those keys. And go there. And then blend my keys back. So this is... Don't show 3D cursor here. That's okay. So now we rotate. Yeah, that makes more sense. So it's actually rotating from the pivot point that connects to the table. Huh? I know there's translation now involved, so we do need to clean that up. But at least it feels a bit more natural. Have it like that. We probably lift the glass a bit higher with the fingers to give it a bit more. Let's blend that back. Actually, let's just replace that key.
Some kind of
Yeah, okay.
we got some kind of connection, right?
All right.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
He puts down the glass pretty aggressively, like how a severely drunk man would do. Boom. Could be a bit more gentle. I mean, he's not drunk. He definitely had a few drinks. That's why he's approaching the bartender, obviously. But pushing it down like that is a bit too aggressive.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Let's leave it for now. It's a bit mechanical still, so especially the push. Let's go to the chat. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look at some body movement in general. And what happens if I turn on audio scrubbing?
I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is.
So now it actually seems to update the audio per frame and doesn't make...
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
Sun on rain, just so he has somebody to talk to. Feels a bit lonely otherwise. So give me some ideas on how Rain should respond to him in the chat. I don't say we're going to do whatever you guys say, but it's fun to hear your opinion or hear your thoughts. I have two ideas. One of them is her just leaving the, like, just see ya, bye, which is a bit odd. Another idea is to actually put down the receipt in front of him and then leaves, which makes it's more of a subtle gesture, like, this is your last drink, pal. Go home. That's currently what I'm considering, but let me know. Don't go too, I mean, we have some constraints that it doesn't need to be too extensive. We cannot make a feature film out of this, obviously. So yeah, it's still not catching up. I see, like,
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Okay. So some things I want to work on right now is some of the floatiness and clean curves that are going on, and see if I can add in some punch, some spice to the motion. And those areas are right here. So turn off scrubbing.
I don't know what your situation is, but
so there will be some facial animation here, but it feels a bit like,
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like
it feels a bit, I don't know, too quiet for too linear. The body there slowly moving up, and then there's that motion here where
I feel like we got some kind.
Is it like going up, going down? It's not. It's a bit too even.
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Let's take a look at the suggestions here. They fall in love. Good one. Because rain and snow is like peas and carrots. Yeah. Let's make a romantic scene. Slap him. And then turns into a kung fu fight scene. Yes. Plot twist. Good. I like it. Question: why every Blender artist I have seen on this channel uses Pop! OS instead of Windows? It's just the system that has been used at the studio. Linux is way more flexible and easier to optimize than Windows. I use Windows on my personal computer or when I'm working from home, so. Cool. All right, let's take a look at that. Those little floaty moments there. Also here, honestly, like.
Want to keep talking to you. I want to keep talking to you. You know, I want.
But one thing, I don't want to go too deep into texturing some of the animation because I want to next stream tomorrow. We'll go into facial animation properly. I have some rough blocking here. Tomorrow we'll do some actual lip syncing and going into that kind of stuff. And that will give us new moments, maybe beats, that can instigate some in-between motion or speed up some of the action. So it's a balance. It's a dance of facial animation and body animation. They all come together. Okay.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but,
Okay.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
So just playback without audio, man.
I don't know what your situation is.
Yeah, so
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is.
I don't know what your situation is.
Situation is. Your situation.
Maybe this is not ideal for you guys.
Your
So.
situation is. I don't know what your situation is.
Situation is. So he's looking up. So there's the look up, but the face is not correcting. When you look from one point to another, it's nice to have a bit of facial head support, actually. So I'm looking from here to there. That's too big. It's like you dart, and a little bit of head movement that follows gives it a bit of realism to it. So that's what we're going to do.
Your situation is.
So situation, we already go up here, but I want to keep the rotation a little bit down. And right here, that's where we do the dart. And we want to have the dart leading. So that means we put a key right before the dart. Key everything. And then we go here. Okay, so these are my 2 points that I want to adjust. This is where we want to end up because I don't want to correct everything after right now. And I'm gonna blend rotation. Okay, let me delete these keys and blend rotation there. So we're gonna blend it here. And I kill this key. Come on, audio. Catch up.
I don't know what your situation is, but
Yeah,
I don't know
nice.
what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is.
So it gives it a bit more punch in this area.
Your situation is, but I don't know what your situation is.
We could push it even more. Let's say I do want to go up a bit more. And then obviously it wants to go back. So now you have that weird overshoot. Let me see. So I go here. Let's go back a little bit more.
What your situation is, but I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is.
That's nice. But now it's stuck here a little bit, so let's rotate it a bit more down. So we have this continuous going up, then it's adjusting. Now, because we're splining, you see that the curve, let's go actually to the curve here. Let's go into the nitty-gritty details of animation. And you will see that the curve, I'm not sure why I'm doing this accent, but this curve is already curving towards the next key. So it already instigates the rotation, which I am not a fan of. So let's adjust the curve. You could shift around the keys, but let's pretend we are professional animators and control every curve. Here we go. So good.
situation is, your situation is.
Going up a little bit too fast. Now that we are in curve mode, we can, in graph editor, we can actually tweak some stuff right here. And ease it out a little bit.
Situation is, but I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is, but I don't know what your situation is.
Nice. All right, go back. Demeter fighting off all the questions. Good. Throws the drink in his face. Tell him to step off. I like it. Let's do some fluid simulation and add some shading, splash, drops on his, I don't know, face. They fall in love. I like those ideas, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm speed. Your editing are butter smooth. Can I do the same using MacBook Air M1? MacBook Air? I don't know. They're so thin. I almost don't believe that they can be that. I don't know. Maybe 16 gigabyte of RAM. It's not only the RAM you need probably. I guess graphics card helps too. On a more serious note, you can make him feel a little dizzy. Yeah. We could add in a little bit of what's up, girl? I don't know. Maybe. Hey, Rick. Want to do some facial animation with bone gizmos? Or mesh gizmos or whatever. I can try. Is it there? Do I need to... Oh, do I need to... Let me actually play the clip while I'm doing, so you can see something moving while I'm reading the chats. Otherwise, it's so lame for everybody who's waiting for actual animation. Okay, tomorrow. Sure, I'll try it. But I'll be rude if it's not working, okay? I need to finish in time. Okay. Stop fooling around then. Okay. Let's continue. I do like that little addition on that motion going up, like it's slowing down a little bit. You can see it in the X rotation curve here. It's going up, and then on the eyes it's going faster, and that's the kind of texturing I'm talking about. And that same thing I added here a little bit. Actually, let me turn it back on the sound again.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
So there's a little bit of, you know, going up, you know.
You know? You know?
And this is kind of a placeholder. I do want to have the actual facial animation blocked out properly in order to see if this is too much or it needs to be retimed, because I want to dictate the sound of that, like, you know, like kind of, I want to keep talking to you, you know, something like that.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation.
Okay, now the rotation of the head is a bit steep, or like a bit.
I don't know what.
It keeps on maybe rotating it even further. Delete some keys here.
I don't know what your situation, you know? I don't know what your situation is, you know? I don't know what your situation is, you know? I don't know what your situation.
Okay. Now for the head rotation, which is this, probably in Y. There we go. So it's going right, left, right. Okay. I do want to change the timing a bit here. So let's see if I move this and it's rotating a little bit more. So it stays here a bit longer. And then delay it a bit more here. Ooh, that's terrible.
I don't know. I don't know what your situation. I don't know what your situation.
Yeah, it's a bit terrible. Come on, audio.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's going a bit still here. So maybe normalize. Here. Playing around a bit with. Right now, what I'm doing is I want to have an organic motion. And it's very jagged.
I don't know what.
So maybe.
I don't know what your situation. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know.
And this might be too far. So. Of course, I don't have the. I don't have the blend to neighbor functionality here because I'm working on 3.0, which I should not.
I don't know what your situation is. No. I don't know what your situation. No. I don't know what your situation. No.
We play around with the cursor a little bit here, see if we can get something more organic.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation. Shocking you, you know? I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your you know. I don't know what I don't know what your situation is. I keep talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation is. No. I don't know what your situation is. You know. I don't
Maybe I'm making this way too big of a motion. Needs to be. Let's see what the actual translation is doing here. So we're going to the screen left, and here we're going to
I don't know what your situation. I don't know what you know. I don't know what your situation is. You know. I don't know what your
it's a bit abrupt.
I don't know what your situation is. Talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation.
So let's ease that in a bit more. So I go back to keys. And you see, like, I shifted around some keys, I guess. So actually go to this right here. Actually, I could scale it. Scale Y. I'm just showing off my. I don't use this option as much. Now right here we can. Give me audio.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. But I don't know what your situation. I don't know. I don't know what your situation.
What? So it goes this way. Maybe I want to hold it a bit longer. GX. Whoa, that's not.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. You know. I don't know what your situation is. But I keep talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation is. I keep talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. But I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your. I don't.
I'm not a big fan about this whole motion right now. So just gonna blend it a bit.
I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your. Talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation is. But talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation is. Talking to you, you know. I don't know what your situation. I don't know what your situation. I don't know what your situation. I don't know. I don't know what your situation. I
Tweak, tweak, tweak. Ah.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but, talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but, I feel like we got some kind of, connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking.
I don't like the drift here, so I'm gonna take some out. So the body is fine, but the head is not. So you see it's going down, and then you see it's this curve right here going down, and then I probably want to just see what happens if I move this down a little bit there.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
And these keys are too early. You know, so just shift them around. I honestly, I'm not sure about the audio not playing when I'm playing back. It's like Blender is like, oh wait, where's the audio? Here it is.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is. I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but, I feel like we got some kind of, connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep.
And also, this motion here is a bit slow. I actually want to arrive a couple of frames earlier to this pose, so there's a bit of a resting moment. So he's drinking, going here, holding. I'm gonna and how we transition into that could be a bit better. Sorry for the quietness. I try to focus. Okay. Okay. Maybe a bit of X rotation so he faces upwards when he closes his eyes to make him look like he's doing a deep think. Right at the end when he ends the sentence. I'm open for suggestions, so let's have a look.
I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep...
I'm not sure where you... When he ends the sentence, at connection, you feel like?
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Some kind of connection, right?
Not sure what you mean, so if you can specify, then I'm happy to take a look.
Some kind of...
This is a perfect example why I would love to have the only insert needed working properly. So right now I have this head rotation, it's going up and then it's going down again, but I want to have the motion of the translation, the location continue, but I want to add a little bit of overlap onto the head. So right here, I want to rotate a little bit. So I do that, up. And now it keys everything. And also it will probably destroy some of my curves on the location, which I could delete again. But yeah, it's like 4 different steps to take. And it's not, right, I need to select these guys.
I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Some kind of...
Connection. Connection.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection. connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
There's a big whoop jump, so we're gonna reduce that.
Connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Got some kind of connection, right? Some kind of connection, right? I feel
Not too happy with that. We don't want to have the head rotate down. Sometimes I try things and I just want to see how it feels if I do a little different order of things like motion. So for instance, I'm also not a big fan of this quick motion here.
like connection, right?
So it's dipping down.
Connection.
But I actually, instead of dipping down, yeah, I mean, it could work if not having this maybe. Connection. Oh, that's terrible. I have to get all the keys in there. So there's the big dip. And then we want to basically what I want to do is something more maybe like this. Oop. Connection. Oh, that rotation. This is good. This is good. So it's like connect. And then this rotation is, it's the, fuck this shit. Let's see how far we can control Z. Not happy with this. The struggle of an animator. Did we? How are you guys doing? All right. So now we're back here. Ooh, we're going a little bit too far back, maybe.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Let's go back to some chatty chats. All right. Where are we? Okay. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. We'll end the stream in 10 minutes. So just so you're all aware of that.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know.
This is...
What I keep talking to you, you know? I'm talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what you're... You know? I don't know what your situation is, but, talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know? Keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but, I feel like we got some kind of, connection. I feel like we got some kind of, connection. I feel like we got some kind of, feel like we got some kind of, connection, right?
Some weird twist going on
Connection.
there. That rotation there. Probably left over from my messed up trials.
Connection, right? Connection.
Actually want to try something opposite of it. Connection. It's the other curves that are fighting me. Connect. And this is something I probably...
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection. Got some kind of connection, right? Feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Feel like we got some kind of connection, right? Connect. Connection, right? Connection. Connection, right?
Really go spaghetti mode now. Changing curves. Offsetting them.
Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right? Connection, right?
Let's see.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Ah. Can work with that.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
You know, let's change that. it's not still, even though we'll adjust it later on the facial animation.
I want to keep talking to you, you know?
Okay, and now, so it's like,
I want to keep talking.
I want to keep talking. So talking, we'll let the head dip a little bit. Talking, like this. Talking. Ooh, that's a bit.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
You know, and then this goes up again. Actually, this whole keyframe can move a bit closer, you know. Looks like I'm reverting my old ideas. What you gonna do, hi?
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I want to keep talking to you, you know?
Yeah, I like that extra dip that we do, like talking you, you know, and then goes up again. And maybe shift it one more frame. Perfect. No. You know, it's going up here.
Talking to you, you know? Talking to you.
3 frames is a bit, you know.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know. Keep talking to you, you know? Keep talking to you, you know? Talking to you, you know? I don't know what you're...
Good, good. All right, guys, let's take a look what we got. Actually, let me show you what we had before I started. And come on. Why is this not working? Linux, you fail me. This is what we started with at the beginning of the stream. Shot progression. Let's start with the blocking. We do a little bit of progression here. So blocking. Wow, that's great. Oh, here we go.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Great. That's our blocking. Splining before the stream starts.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
And keep in mind, we worked a lot on the elbows and
Your situation
hopping.
is, but
So a lot of maintenance work that is not noticed that much, but we're gonna look at what we did today. Here we go. Of course, the audio needs to catch up.
I want to keep talking to you, you know? But I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right? I want to keep talking to you, you know? I don't know what your situation is, but I feel like we got some kind of connection, right?
Cool. Still a way to go, but slow but steady. Getting there. Let me play that for you. Mute it. And let's go to chats. What do we have? Pra-pa-pa. Last questions. Get them in there. All questions to Demeter. Okay. How do you decide when you use the IK spine controls versus the FK? It's a little bit of a personal preference. I'm used to a different setup on movies I've worked on. It's a personal preference. Some people like to animate FK, some people IK. It depends a bit. Yeah, personal preference. If you have very snaky like dance moves, IK is easier to control. If you have more, I don't know, straightforward body rotation, then FK should work fine. A lot of people are like, animation is a lot of work. Yes, it is. It is going. I gotta say, it's going a little bit slower with streaming. But yes, it is still a lot of work. Animbot for Blender would be great. I do find like the Blender Neighbor tool that has been added recently very helpful. Blender Neighbor, make it a default shortcut over the breakdowner, because Blender Neighbor is breakdowner 2.0. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's it for today. I hope you like it. Tomorrow, we'll do some facial animation, so some lip sync. Maybe dive a little bit into the, lip sync first and bonus later. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.